What screams, "I'm poor but pretend I'm rich." Posting selfies posed with things that aren't yours. Following, constantly posting stupid, entrepreneur, shit on Instagram. My brother always carries a wad of cash in a money clip. He has a $100 bill on the outside, but the rest is all $1s. It's all for show. He has no money and lives with my parents. An expensive, current-year model car, parked in front of a low-income apartment complex. I have a relatively poor friend who doesn't have a TV or anything, but they go around in a several hundred-pound tracksuit and wear fake diamond rings they bought on Wish, which he tells people are real. Taking pictures in a fake luxury airplane. Me. Telling people I own Bitcoin, but conveniently not mentioning that I only own 0.002 BTC. Bragging about how much money you have. Clothes and accessories with huge logos on them. Posting pictures of new items you purchased on Instagram and stuff. My old roommate spent his entire financial aid refund on a Gucci belt because the security guard at the mall assumed he couldn't afford it. Used to work at a 7-Eleven. Once a month for a week this guy would come in with a rented green Cadillac and a very obvious prostitute on his arm. Would flash a wad of money while in the store and make it very specific that he wants $10 on that green Cadillac right there. Coworker told me he does it with his SSI check. Bragging about wealth or high-paying jobs. Most of the rich people I've known in my life were actually quite quiet and secretive about their wealth. Naming your children after luxury brands. Rental rims. Just saw 3 expensive-looking cars with tires smoother than a beach ball. Asking people on Facebook to get in on your Herbalife scheme. Bragging about how you're going to get rich from crypto but you keep talking about a different coin every week. I used to live in a trailer park and a surprising amount of neighbors had luxury cars, Mercedes, Lexus, BMW etc. There is a security guard that works at a popular bar, club in my city. He managed to buy an old Lambo recently. On the weekends, he will drive by the bar several times before his shift as people are lined up outside revving his engine while at the stoplight. His new thing is pulling onto the sidewalk in front of the bar, parking it, getting out, saying hi to everyone he works with, waiting for people to walk by the car so he can let them know it's his, and then leaving, again revving the engine as loud as possible on the sidewalk. He does this for about 2 hours before his shift starts at 11 or 12. If you have money and can afford nice cars, you do not need to show them off. A $3,000 stereo and $3,000 rims on a POS beater car. People who show off stacks of cash on pictures instead of depositing it into a bank account. How my Dominican family fights tooth and nail to give their kids Nike or Adidas before they can even walk. What's the cruelest prank you've ever seen? Friend of mine had a crush on his coworker, it was sort of an open secret. His manager tried to help him, offered advice, some things to say, small gifts she might be into, etc. What no one knew at the time was that said manager and said coworker had recently started dating and hadn't told anyone yet. So he meant it as a prank on his new girlfriend to be put into these awkward situations. But my friend's feelings were really hurt when it all came out. In middle school a girl came up to us on the playground and told this dude to go see the principal. He's looking for you, he got a call that your mom died. Then as soon as the dude ran away she told us all she just made it up. It was fucking horrible. A group of girls at my high school told a girl that they were hanging out at one of their houses at 9 near a train station, but they really just made up a time and place that would make her stranded at the last train stop with no more trains home. Saw a guy tip over the porta potty with someone in it. That memory is clear. I think it was his GF. Someone asked a guy to be her boyfriend. He said yes and the next day she invited all her friends to tell him that she did it as a joke. My ex-friend thought it was a funny prank to kill my brother's hamster and tie it up and dress it in ridiculous ways. When I was a kid, somehow my classmates found it funny to piss in other people's cans of soda. I did not have a good childhood. Happened to me. Was at my first school dance in middle school. Was always the shy kid, so I was surprised when one of the popular chicks came to ask me to dance. I said no because I was shy, but I was elated that I got asked. A few minutes later I'm in the bathroom stall and a few kids come in and start talking about how they paid her $10 to ask me, and if I said yes she would have just tripped me and made me look dumb. I never went to another dance all throughout middle and high school. Even prom. When I was in 8th grade a thing called turtling and zip-tying backpacks were popular. Well, one day early in the year on the bus ride home, a kid decided to zip tie a 6th grader's backpack to the leg of the chair, which is welded to the floor. When he got up to leave and realized his backpack was stuck, he started panicking trying to get it undone and eventually had to leave the backpack, and he was stressing out saying his mom was going to freak out on him. He looked like he was about to cry. I don't have a specific example in my life, but I've always thought those fake lottery tickets are cruel. Those people think their life is going to change, and then it's all yanked away from them while people laugh. Same energy as when a parent gifts their kid something in the box for an iPad, Switch, something expensive and fancy, but it's really something shitty and lame inside. The entire joke is, haha, you thought your dreams were coming true, but then they didn't. Look at us, a bunch of kidders, to toy with your emotions like that. A group of students in my high school wrote up and passed around an unofficial page of senior superlatives before graduation. The popular kids got named neutral, good things like, most likely to own a tech company, or, first to get $1 million. Unpopular kids got, ugliest, or, most likely to die in prison, or, most cowardly. I was, most unfuckable. In hindsight, I'm not sure if it really was a prank or just a bunch of really mean-spirited people. Edit. To those asking, I got sexually assaulted in college, but I've never had consensual sex. Maybe it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm older than you probably think. I've worked hard and gained a modest level of success through my career. Don't know if a relationship will ever happen for me. Saw a kid at high school cafeteria spend 20 minutes removing seeds from jalapenos and chopping up the seeds until he had a handful. He walked over to a different table and threw the handful of sliced up seeds into the face of another kid. Demi Lovato paid a prostitute to sexually assault one of her employees as a prank. My friend stole my brand new set of Copics and switched all the caps. It ruined some of the markers because of color bleeding. I retaliated by dumping glitter in his backpack. An entire little container. Needless to say, we don't talk anymore. Catfishing seems like it can be pretty damaging to young people. Planting someone's face on the cake on their birthday. If that happened to me on my birthday, regardless of what day it is, you bet violence will ensue. Russian YouTuber was arrested after locking his pregnant girlfriend outside in Russian winter wearing only her underwear. She died of hypothermia right on their balcony. At my school we used to do senior pranks. They were all approved by the teachers and were good fun. Well, a separate group of seniors wanted to do a second prank, and they ended up setting off a smoke bomb in the cafeteria. The whole cafeteria had to be evacuated. No more senior pranks for us. Any prank involving pretending to ask someone on a date that I witnessed in my youth group. It was pretty common, everyone had it happen at least once. And it happened to me twice, but both times I found the guy repulsive and told them so. I don't know the person. And yet everybody knows the kid, but at my school, he'd unscrew the razors of handheld pencil sharpeners and then try to discreetly cut people's forearms and legs. What he'd been trying to accomplish is, and this is just twisted, make the people's parents think they'd be cutting themselves. Whenever the victim went to try and tell the teachers, they'd think the same thing. Shit went down when the person he'd been constantly targeting beat the shit out of him. Victim was put to juvie, he got out practically free, and now he uses needles to poke holes into people.